I'm probably not a roller coaster girl, to be honest.
Okay.
It traces back to being on a ride at Disney, and I'm forgetting the name of the ride, but in the middle of the ride, we were like at a peak. And
Okay.
for some reason, there was a mechanical issue, so they had to stop. And like, I still have sense memory of that. Like that, oh my God, this is the absolute worst moment.
When was this?
I was probably in my 20s, so it's a while. It's been a while, but it still lives with me. It haunts me.
Hey there, and welcome to Impact After Hours, where changemakers sign off from work and log into life. I'm Camila Rente, CEO and co-founder of Hueman Group Media and your host. One thing before we get started, if you like our content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. It's one of the best ways to support our show. All right, let's get into it. Today, I'm excited to find out what Rebecca Edwards, founder of Salt Rock Strategies, is really like off-duty. After leading global teams across 200 countries, Rebecca has become famous for her powerful storytelling and strategic vision. Whether it's with the International Olympic Committee, the American Civil Liberties Union, also known as the ACLU, or most recently, Organon, she makes a lasting impression. Rebecca is also a board member of the Page Society, the world's premier membership organization for chief communications officers. Her track record speaks for itself. You may know her as Rebecca, but allow me to reintroduce her as Becky. Hi, Becky. Welcome to Impact After Hours.
Hi, Camille. Thanks for having me.
So you shared on LinkedIn that I think you did something for the first time. First, tell us why you had to shuck oysters for the first time. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was it?
Ooh. That's a good one, because at this point now I've done it twice. So this is really a good question for me.
You're going into the pro level.
Yeah, and now I have the right equipment. So that helps a lot. What happened was I was kind of ambitious, and I was doing my food delivery order, and I clicked on the oysters that were available, said they were fresh in season. And in my mind, I envisioned like a nice romantic appetizer with my husband. Like they would come, plated over ice, and we'd just have to open the top of the box and enjoy. Well, that was wrong. They were like in a netted, bag and super dirty. And so I thought to myself, what is a person going to do? I want these oysters. Went on YouTube, downloaded a bunch of videos, and taught myself how to shuck oysters. Did not have the right equipment, so I ruined a kitchen knife in the process, but I escaped injury-free, so I feel like that's a victory. And the oysters were delicious.
So the first time you did it, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was that?
I would say it was like an 8 or a 9. I mean, because I actually ended up eating the oysters, I'd say it wasn't a full 10. Like a 10, I would feel like was maybe I never got the oysters opened. But it was hard. It was not easy.
I mean, I bet. I wouldn't even try it. But do you think it tasted better than already shucked oysters?
It tasted like victory.
Yes.
Plus the enjoyment of oysters, which I'm a big fan. So
it's the hard work that went into having that appetizer and enjoying it, right? So speaking of difficulty and challenges, what is the most difficult thing about the work that you do? But also share what is the funniest thing about it, if you can.
Oh, happily. I think the most difficult thing is, it may sound strange, but it's feelings. Having empathy and honing it for the purposes of, considering the situation that an organization is faced with, what should be the right messages from the vantage point of a stakeholder. Empathy is a great asset in all of that work, like in developing strategic communications and helping people feel connected to the organization that I'm representing. And certainly empathy has been has been recognized as a great attribute of good leadership. So I feel deeply, and that's a positive thing. But when you think about many of the spaces where power is concentrated and decisions are being made, these spaces have been constructed to leave feelings at the door. And I remember hearing time and time again earlier in my career that I was too sensitive, need to learn how not to take things so personally. And that was going to be a barrier to advancing. I would like to say that, or I wish I could say that I got over that kind of feedback, but it took me a lot longer than I wish to embrace feelings as my superpower. And I guess the difficult thing is allowing them to come to the surface, harnessing them, and not getting overwhelmed and exhausted by them, especially nowadays when there's plenty to feel that could be harmful, especially for Black and Brown people. Definitely.
And it's an interesting leadership quality, empathy, right? Because it's first of all, it's like, it's not, you don't put it on your resume. It's not something that is like tangible, but it is a critical quality to have if you're leading a team, let's say, right? So what then is the funniest thing about the work that you do? I don't know if you can share anything.
So I think most people know that anyone who's in the world of communications is probably a student of media. I started out my career as a journalist, so I definitely love to consume media. And I think the wonderful thing about communications, and the thing I have most fun with, is the surprising sparks of creativity that I see in the world of media. Something I can't believe this is real recent, but I learned, for example, that there's an entire TikTok space dedicated to sharing amongst people who are trying to replicate Beyonce's homecoming dance. So,
I'm sure, I have no doubt that exists.
So, I mean, how great is that? Like that, you could spend a day watching those videos. And I remember, and it's personal, right? Because I remember years ago that right after the first, when she first appeared at Coachella and did that dance with Solange, that same Christmas when I was home with my family, my cousin and I tried to replicate that dance. And like we had a dance off, a competition, and competed in front of other family members. It was hilarious. So knowing there are people out there to this day, like trying to do that dance and sharing their attempts and sharing, how-tos, that brings me joy.
Becky, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to share that video with me, or maybe when we release this episode, maybe we can have a little link. I don't know if you posted that on your social media account or any of your platforms, but we would love to see how you did. So it's time to log out.
Okay.
Enough work talk. We want to play a little game with you, and it's just, a little fast round of questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you prefer to live in the moment or plan for the future?
Oh, well, I would prefer to live in the moment, but I am still doing work on the 8-year-old child inside of me who feels like they need to have 5 different plans for any potential eventuality. So my answer would be prefer to live in the moment, but that doesn't come naturally.
Would you rather have a home-cooked meal or dine out, or have food delivered?
Ooh, home-cooked meal. As long as I don't have to clean or shop for it. Yeah.
What do you like baking?
I love seafood, as as the oyster story.
Yes.
Seafood and pasta combinations are probably a go-to for me.
I mean, that's an amazing combination. I love both of those things. If we were to find ourselves in a theme park, Becky, what would you be most excited to do? Go on rides, get food, or buy merch?
Go on rides.
Go on rides? Yay!
And I am a huge theme park fan. So I have a fear of heights, but I do like to challenge myself. So, yeah, I love theme park rides. I'm probably not a roller coaster girl, to be honest. It traces back to being on a ride at Disney, and I'm forgetting the name of the ride, but in the middle of the ride, we were like at a peak, and for some reason there was a mechanical issue, so they had to stop. And like I still have sense memory of that, like that. Oh my God, this is the absolute worst moment.
When was this?
I was probably in my 20s, so it's a while. It's been a while, but it still lives with me. It haunts me.
The trauma is real. I mean, I would PTSD, right? I mean, right. Thankfully, that's never happened to me. But I go, if I see like a sick, like really thrilling ride, I'm there. Like I will line up. But every time, like, let's say you're on a roller coaster, right? Like before it goes up or like the ride actually starts, you have like that a second of like, what if?
Totally.
What if something goes wrong?
Totally. And even though I have that sense memory, I have since gone on Space Mountain, like when that reopened a few years ago. So like, I don't let it stop me, but I have a real pause. And like you said, that drop in the stomach when you realize like you're strapped in and there's no turning back now.
So yeah, exactly. There was, before we move on, I love the subject of thrill rides. My husband hates it. But I think we went to Coney Island, like maybe like 5 years ago. Sometimes they have like the extreme ones, and I tried one of the extreme ones. It's like you are strapped in. It's just you and another person. I had my niece with me, and you're in this kind of like, it's like a slingshot of some sort. It's crazy. It's like it goes literally like all around. Yes, exactly. It's kind of crazy. But
I thought you were going to mention a Cyclone.
Oh well, that one too,
which is their like classic roller coaster, which is like wooden, so you're hearing the threat of it like breaking down in the middle of the ride.
Yeah, there's nothing up. There's no electricity. It's just the inertia, I think, of that roller coaster. But yep, we've tried that too. Okay, Becky. So now I know if there's a chance for us to go to a theme park. We will wait in line for a ride. Okay. Looking at a painting, are you more interested in how the art makes you feel, or maybe certain techniques that are used to create the art?
Oh, I think that's both, because I am not an artist. My daughter is, and she works in an art gallery, and I'm fascinated. Well, first, obviously, the impression of how it makes me feel is a joy. Like in fact, just last weekend, we went to the reopening of the Frick collection. And so I just loved being, especially in museums that are homes, so you can feel the art in situ, which is really a lovely experience. It feels more accessible. But also then looking at the technique is something cool, especially when you think about Renaissance masters who didn't have all the, advances of chemical processing of color and things like this. Like, I love that.
Becky, I'm curious, who was your childhood hero?
Oh, Miss Piggy. Hands down. Yeah, Miss Piggy. And I hope people know who Miss Piggy is.
I mean, for those who do not know who Miss Piggy is, please do tell us. And also, why do you love Miss Piggy? Why do you think...
Oh my God. So Miss Piggy was the heroine, I think we could say, of the Muppet world. She was the on-again, off-again romantic interest of Kermit the Frog. I mean, we were never quite clear what their relationship was, but she was a badass. I mean, she was like a strong feminine icon, and she wasn't, super skinny. So I really loved her. I had Miss Piggy sheets. Anytime, like, I would write about a character, like, and do creative writing exercise in school, it would absolutely feature Miss Piggy. I watched all the Muppet movies, so Miss Piggy, hands down.
I felt like Miss Piggy was like a star. Like, she was born.
She had great outfits.
Yes,
like she was the most fashionable Muppet. I mean,
yep.
Name a Muppet who was fashionable.
I know. I don't think anyone can contest that Miss Piggy is the most
She had
fashionable.
accessories, like she had a beautiful pearl necklace often. So
Her hair was always great, I thought.
Yes, her hair was always great. Yeah.
Have you ever danced like no one was watching? When was that, and to what song?
Oh, I often dance when no one is watching. I think movement and music are ways that I'm not a good meditator, like a standing still or seated meditator, but I can sort of let myself go and be in the moment with the influence of music. I'm a huge fan of Snoop Dogg, who we talked about,
Yes.
Beyonce. Sometimes even in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth, I will listen to Snoop Dogg affirmation songs and dance with abandon. It's kind of like bundling, right? Like you use the time to do the proper duration of brushing your teeth, and you get the benefit of giving yourself a boost and doing some movement.
It is fun to just like let loose. When you said that you're not a good like meditator, like sitting down, I'm with you. I cannot sit still, or my mind just keeps racing. So might as well just like move.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I feel like these questions are connected in a great way. What is a small change you made in your life that brought you peace or happiness?
So it actually is related, because for Lent this year, a friend of mine, so Lent is the period before Easter in the Christian tradition. I don't really go to church, but it is one of those things that I've held on from my childhood. And a college friend and I agreed to do daily meditations and then check in with one another. So we used the same app, so we would have the same meditation prompts, and I loved it. It's like a short meditation, no longer than 10 minutes. So I could handle that sitting still. But I think the part that made it even more enjoyable was the accountability with a friend and kind of sharing reaction to the experience with someone who I don't get to see because he lives out in San Diego. So it was great for us to have that daily check-in over text, which I loved.
So would you say that with that practice that like the peace and happiness, like you felt like that came through once you did more of that?
Definitely. In the moment, I felt peaceful. And then I think it was reinforced by the loving feeling of the friendship being rekindled on a daily basis, like having that dose of connection to someone I love who's been in my life for a very long time was really a joy.
I think that's a great tip for anyone that's listening, right? Like doing it with like a buddy, like, you know, someone else. I feel like it is popular with some exercises or like running. That's been quite popular, where you have to run with someone, even if you're not physically together.
True. Yeah.
It's the accountability, but then like the fact that you are kind of on that journey, even though you're separate. I think that's a great one. I might try that with some of my girlfriends as well.
Let me know.
Yes, I will definitely let you know. Well, Becky, final question for you. We love hearing about our guests, like after hours media. What have you been watching, reading, or listening to lately? And we'd love to hear all three if you have them.
Okay. Watching Mobland, loving it. It has Pierce Brosnan, Tom Hardy, Helen Mirren, and it's like a Guy Ritchie directed thing. So it's like all the things, like English countryside, gritty mob kind of intrigue.
Okay.
It's really, really good music, good background music. So really enjoying that. Listening to, I'm kind of in search of a good listen. I rely on my kids a lot to expose me to music. I've been listening a little bit more to Alabama Shakes because they're coming in concert in September. And so I'm trying to decide if I want to go see them. So I'm listening to their music a lot. And French lounge music on Spotify, like this kind of like when I'm cooking, French loungy is good. And then what was the last one? Reading?
Yes.
So I'm reading a book that a friend just published actually called Dividing Lines. It's by Deborah Archer. And it's a story of how systemic racism has been built into our transportation infrastructure in this country. So it's a great book, but it's also helping me to kind of make observations in my life. Like I was driving back from the airport recently and thinking, why is this highway cutting through a neighborhood? Like, and so it is, it's a good book, and I have to take it in pieces because it's really heavy. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but it's worthwhile.
For sure. I mean, I think that's the beauty of like reading something like that, because then it makes you notice things that you didn't really pay attention to.
Yeah.
So I'll check those out. Interestingly enough, we have not gotten a Mobland answer.
Okay.
I feel like our top response so far, we've done like over a dozen of these now, is White Lotus. I think White Lotus might take the top spot.
Yeah.
But Mobland, I'm interested in that because I mean, you know, it sounds like it's an action kind of like or thriller or something in that genre, correct?
Well, there's action. There's action.
Okay.
Yes.
There is action.
Yes. Yeah.
Becky, this has been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Before I let you go, is there anything big that's coming up for you, or anything that you want to share? You know, anything that you want to promote with our listeners?
Oh, well, I have recently, after a long career at the vaulted institutions that you mentioned, launched my own consulting firm, Salt Rock Strategies. So I'm excited to invest in myself and start a business, and I'm open to help. So anyone who needs strategic communications advice, issues management, brand programmatic innovations that help uplift society, or even just coaching and thoughts about how to structure a team, I'm here to help.
I love the timing too of our conversation, because we would be delighted to share this with our listeners. And because you're also entering it sort of this new phase, I would say, like new chapter in your life and your career. So I'm glad that by the time people get to hear this episode, that you'd be ready to accept, and hopefully, you know, people check you out and check out your work.
Thanks, Camille. I appreciate that.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Becky, for hanging out with me. And yeah, we'll chat soon.
All right. Bye. Thanks for listening.